Lieutenant General Tembisile Patekeli, alongside senior SAPS management, honourable members of Parliament representing various political parties who serve on the Parliamentary Policing Oversight Committee, and various other stakeholders that were present. The MGC welcomed the frank and constructive tone of the dialogue and extend its appreciation to all. Tension is rooted in a clear and unambiguous principle whereby a single innocent life lost is one too many. The MGC noted that the unchecked violence gripping our communities is a policing crisis and constitutes a moral, constitutional, and humanitarian emergency. As articulated in Section 7.2 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, 1996, the state bears a positive and non-negotiable duty to respect, protect, promote, and fulfill the rights of all persons, especially the most vulnerable.
Of sexual violence, but we're only seen as perpetrators and villains, while the healing of the brokenness of men are ignored as it is in society. Then lastly, as a religious community, kom 'n bietjie huis toe. Hou oppraat, hou oppreek. Are you accountable to do what is right when nobody sees you? Are you going to deliver the criminal in your house? Are you going to deliver up that criminal after this?
Thank you very much.
Formed a political task team, and there's no reason why it should be disbanded. I can tell you now, because there are still political killings and there will be in the next election, because the systemic drivers of those issues haven't been addressed. Now it gets disbanded irrationally, and he correctly came out, and I support correctly, but not internally according to the methods that we subscribe to. But I support him. But you ought to be more concerned that the general steps out and does this. Now, what is the response here? Now, one of the things I don't believe in is commission of inquiries, but with respect, if you believe in it, it's your prerogative to believe in it. I believe, like in C4, which I am part, we argued that the shortest route that has proved something in the past is the parliamentary inquiry, because it makes the process more public and it makes it more observable, and you can make demands on the process, on the results. You can't do that if you are putting everything in the hands of a judge who's going to tell you a story 6 months later.
Yes.
The second thing about that problem is some of these are criminal allegations. Do you think a police officer implicated is going to stand in a commission of inquiry under oath and testify and implicate himself while knowing full well that the criminal investigation is going to come up in this? No, because it will be in his right to say, no, I'm not going to talk here, because it will prejudice me later. So those things don't work. Let me explain. Technically, it doesn't work. That's why nothing results from it. Because sometimes you discredit a potential witness in a process before the court, before it ever results in a criminal investigation, then it's useless for the criminal investigation. But there should be a commission of inquiry into gangsterism. You should be asking about that structure. You should be asking why it is only in 2025 that this thing gets signed. And you should be asking, why did it never happen? So all the problems, the same things that we repeated in the past, we should be asking now. A commission of inquiry must come and explain to us why it never happened. So that to me is the space for a commission of inquiry, not to deal with criminal allegations. Thank you.
The smaller part, but at the same time having wider lenses to understand the systemic stuff and the national, international, all these things. And especially from leadership that we require that. We are the crisis committee. Why are we still in a crisis? And it's not just one crisis, it's crises that we are dealing with in our communities. I'm not going to expand, you can invite me for a longer address. But the one crisis that I realize that we as leaders in the faith movement must address is the moral, ethical crisis in our society. Our moral fiber, ek gaan saggies vloek, is in sy poer. The smaller part, but at the same time having wider lenses to understand the systemic stuff and the national, international, all these things. And especially from leadership that we require that. We are the crisis committee. Why are we still in a crisis? And it's not just one crisis, it's crises that we are dealing with in our communities. I'm not going to expand, you can invite me for a longer address. But the one crisis that I realize that we as leaders in the faith movement must address is the moral, ethical crisis in our society. Our moral fiber, ek gaan saggies vloek, is in sy poer.